Hey everybody, welcome back to another Slimefun filled episode with your host Boomer, and today we're in the barn. The plan was to rebreed all the chickens. I mean, you can see I've got some already that were set up, but I wanted to get them all going and then show you the update. But then I remembered there was a major update that was disabled. In other words, the server would not auto update, and there was a big reason why. Is the plugin got a major overhaul. Chickengineering got such a major overhaul that they actually warned the servers in their consoles to update manually, because had they rolled out the update, this was really smart thinking on the dev part, all of your chickens in the excitation chamber would have gone poof. They'd have been gone. That would have been it. And you would have gone, no! And so they did a really good thing. So let's dive right into this. Let's get started. As you'll see, the excitation chambers had a major overhaul, right? It used to be 2 chickens on the left, resources on the right. Now we have 1 chicken up here, and you'll see the health is actually going down, and we'll talk about that in a minute. But there's been a lot of configurable options. To me, this is by far probably the best balanced configuration I've seen, and probably the best wiki I've seen as well. About half of what I'm going to talk about is related to the server owners, but the other half is to the players. However, players, you're going to want to hear all of it because you need to know how this works and what server owners can and can't do to configure this. So let's head over to the official wiki. We're going to cover a few of the things in here. So first thing I want to talk about is max mutation rate. This is the number of mutations a new chicken can spawn with. Okay, in other words, it's genes, the B, C, D, S, F, W, all those. You can get from 1 to 6 mutations when the chicken is born. I'm going to recommend that server owners leave it at 2. I've had extensive practice in here producing and breeding chickens. The amount of time it takes is pretty long. I would not go above 2. I would not go below to 1 unless you're in like hardcore genetic engineering. Okay. It's not a huge difference at 1, but I think it's enough that it's really going to dramatically alter how much longer it's going to take. At the current rate, to get all 64 chickens, you play for hours a day, it's still going to take you quite a few days. So I think you can safely say that that's all right. Mutation rate. The chance that a converted chicken will have the recessive, the lowercase letter, 50%, I think that's fair. I think anything above about 60-40 either makes it OP or unfair to the player. Resource fail rate. In other words, what are the chances that it will spawn a vanilla egg versus a new chicken? I play 0 because I don't want the eggs lying around anywhere. This is something I guess is going to be a personal preference for sure. If you're going to put it on, I'd recommend putting in a low number, maybe 5 to 10%, only just because, the whole point of chicken engineering is to breed chicken for resources. So while a vanilla egg, yes, is a resource, I wouldn't go too high. All right, resource-based time. This is probably the best and easiest way for a server owner to prevent it from being OP. Although, again, you can alter other settings. This is probably the best one to pay attention to. 14 is the fastest, meaning it's going to produce resources every 4 seconds. 100 is the slowest. I don't know how long that is, but I do know it's pretty long. Okay, it's more than 30 seconds, I believe. So to me, fair, if you're going to balance this out, is probably somewhere between 40 and 60. Me, I'm going to probably change mine to 50, just to keep it relatively fair and see how that plays, and I might tweak it from there. Commands we're going to bypass. Let's go to the pain system, baby. You can enable pain. By default, it's turned off, so you will not see the restoration chamber in the guide. If you turn pain on, you will see the restoration chamber. So let's go over to the pain system first, and let's talk about what happens. It's an optional modifier that every half of a second, there is a chance the chicken can inflict 1/4 damage. In other words, 1/8 of a heart. A chicken has up to 4 damage, so it can take 15 hits before it dies. A number 16 could kill it. So by default, this is set to 2%. Now that might sound low. I'm telling you it's not. I'm telling you 2% is fair. Every half of a second, there's a chance it can take damage. I mean, if you got really lucky, you could kill the chicken inside of a minute. Okay? So 2% is fair. Please don't crank this up any higher. All right, so when pain is on, when the chicken gets down to a quarter health, one of two things happen. If pain kills is disabled, the machine stops and will wait for you to heal it. Once it's healed and goes back into the excitation chamber, it produces resources. If you turn pain kills to enabled, chicken will keep going, but once one more pain hits it, it'll kill it, and it's lost forever. And then you're going to have to listen to all your players go, where the hell is my chicken? What happened to my chicken? Why is my chicken not chicken? Chicken, where's my chicken? Don't enable it unless you're playing insane hardcore. All right? Now, you can heal your chickens as well once you're down to 0.25%. There's two ways. One, release that chicken in the real world and splash potion the heck out of it. One, bad idea, insanely resource heavy. Two, very slow. Option number 2, and I love this option, is to use the restoration chamber. Throw in your pocket chicken who's down to a quarter health and give it some seeds. For every quarter that it needs to heal, you're going to need 1 wheat seed. So if I'm at a quarter out of 4, it'll take 15 wheat seeds to fully restore the chicken back to health. And every seed will need 2 seconds to heal. You can customize that. I think that's more than fair. If you're going to risk punishing the chicken to stop, I think you need a quick recovery time to keep that balanced. So by default, pain is enabled or disabled, so you need to turn it to true to enable it. Pain chance, again, I think 2 is more than fair. I think that might even be high. Pain kills, again, if you're going to leave it to false, I wouldn't change anything else. I would stop the resources and simply let it stop, but let it heal quickly. You want to really keep this balanced. You know, I know, and hats off to the dev, because initially this was considered the most, by people in the community, myself, a lot of other devs, we kind of talked about this a lot, and this was probably considered the most OP plugin of all of them when it first came out, because there was nothing to stop the chickens. And once you got diamonds, gold, iron, netherite, and you made, and all you needed was 1 chicken. Once you got the first one, you could make thousands of excitation chambers with those chickens and produce millions of resources per hour. There was nothing that even came remotely close. I mean, 10 times ahead of Infinity Expansion, and you have to kill yourself for months to get Infinity Expansion going. This was the most OP. So she did something that was good. She listened. She didn't take one person's feedback. She listened to a lot of people, plugin developers as well as players, YouTube creators, and really did a great job of giving balanced options for the server to configure. And I don't think any of the other, I'm going to go on a limb to say this is the best balanced configurable options I've seen, giving you the most options and the ability to balance it different ways, as well as a awesome wiki, very well documented, easily able to find all the pages and resources and information that you need. I'm going to get on a scale from 1 to 10. This is a 10 by far. Some of the most thorough work I've seen. Hats off. You did a great job. And by the way, guys, just real quick, again, I know I've said this before, but let's have one of those real like personal conversations, right? Between you and me, guys, the devs are really working hard. I'm, again, being staff on the official Discord channel, I see what they're doing. I get to see a lot of the behind the scenes stuff, and they are working really hard. And please keep in mind, they don't get paid for any of this. They do it for free. They do it because they love it. They do it because they love seeing these kind of things. Yes, I know it's real easy to get frustrated when a bug comes across. And, I guess I'll say this. Nobody can foresee every possible scenario. How many thousands of plugins are there right now, right? How many millions of potential conflicts are there? I'm amazed we don't have 100 times more than we do. I think they do a phenomenal job in keeping the bugs to a minimum. And they are so much quicker now to react than ever before. I've got most of the devs on DMs on Discord, and a lot of times, literally, I've seen fixes pushed out within 30 minutes to an hour. They react that quick. They really do enjoy this. They really do enjoy watching people enjoy this. And I know there's some amazing things coming down the road. Real quick, if I haven't already said this on the channel a dozen times, I'm not a teenager. I'm 50 years old. And I, like a lot of you, played a lot of games as a teenager. I lived in video games, the Atari 2600, going to arcades, right? They don't have arcades anymore. You probably don't even know what an arcade is. And I'd play games for hours and hours. And most games, you were lucky if it lasted in the arcade 3 to 4 months. 6 months was a great game, right? This plugin's been out for 8 years, and it's at its highest popularity than it's ever been, from my understanding, ever. And it's still growing. And there are 2 major, massive, new add-ons being produced right now by a lot of the devs. They're working together. There's 2 unique teams that are working insanely hard to develop 2 new plugins to Slimefun. And I'm telling you guys, I've gotten to test one of them, and I've gotten to see videos and bits and pieces of the other, and I love them both. I think they're going to be phenomenal. I think we could, somebody could create a server just on those 2, from what I'm seeing so far. I know there's still a ways to go, but there's a lot of cool things coming. And so I guess I can only encourage you to say thank you to the devs, to encourage them to continue to building material for us to play with. I know there's so much, it's hard to keep up on. And it's just, it's ever-changing, ever-growing, and that's what I love about this game. It's so configurable, and you've got so many options, and I think that's one of the great appeals to Slimefun. So, also, real big thank you, guys. We launched over 500 subs within a couple of hours of the last video coming out. Matter of fact, we tied the record for the most new subs in one day for the channel. We did 10. I was blown away. Again, I started this channel to give videos on SkyGrid for a few of the people that I played with on the server, and it's grown to over 500 subs already. I can't thank you enough. I'm humbled. I'm blown away that people would want to listen to something I have to say like this. Is crazy. But I thank you. Let's keep pushing. The next big goal is 1,000. I know we've got a long way to go, but we're going to get there at some point. And so with that, I'm going to wrap up. I want to say thank you again. I really mean it. Thank you guys so much. Please continue to provide feedback. What can we do to enhance the channel, to offer more features about Slimefun? I've got a couple other things in the works that we've already talked about. Like I said, we're going to start live streaming this Saturday, 10 a.m. Central Standard Time on Twitch. The link for my Twitch channel is in the description. Guys, I'm going to need a lot of help. I know very little about Twitch, and I know the viewers will be great in helping me out. Different things we can add. Remember, I'm brand new, so we're learning as we go. So please forgive me in advance. But remember, when you're playing Minecraft, you gotta go boomer or you gotta go home, guys. We'll see you later. Thank you again.